Well, this may just be the farm of the future. Autonomous robots planting and picking crops at a company called Iron Ox based in San Carlos. The founders of Iron Ox are hoping artificial intelligence can remake an industry that's facing a serious labor shortage and a lot of pressure to increase production. Joining us live now is the co-founder and CEO of Iron Ox, Brandon Alexander. Thanks for coming on today. Really fascinating stuff. In essence, you have robots doing almost everything to plant, grow, and harvest these produce. Will you explain to everyone how your indoor farm works?
Yeah, exactly. So for the tedious task in farming, that's an indoor farm like we're growing, it's seeding, it's transplanting, it's harvesting, it's packaging. That's the sort of stuff that we've been using our robotics for. So we actually have different robots. We have a 1,000-pound mobile robot named Angus that does a lot of the fetching of the plants. And then we have a smart robotic arm that can actually scan the plants and do like a pickup task or a harvest task all autonomously.
So
but all of this is still overseen by our team of plant scientists as well.
There's obviously human involvement to oversee the machines, the robots. Let me ask you here, what made you decide to create a robot farm? What do you think the advantages are of this?
Yeah, so I come from a farming family. I grew up in Texas where we have about 6,000 acres of farmland. And so growing up, I was basically farm labor during the summers. It wasn't fun, but in college I studied robotics, and my focus has been on robotics for the past several years. I was at Google before this. And so when my co-founder and I were meeting up, it was the idea of how can we combine all these advancements in robotics, but also apply it into the issues that we've seen facing agriculture.
And one of those issues I know you've talked about is the severe labor shortage that we're seeing across the agricultural industry. So talk about how you think your farm can address an issue like that.
Yeah, it's the big thing we've seen, even from my granddad's land in Texas to every farmer we've talked with in California. They're all facing this biggest issue of labor scarcity. They just cannot get enough people to help them out. And so what's happening is yield is going to waste because there's not enough helping hands to maybe seed or do the harvest.
And so what is the ultimate idea? I know that at this point the produce you're producing there are not being distributed to stores or to restaurants, but that's going to happen soon, and then ultimately do you envision more farms like the one you're sitting in across the country?
Exactly. So we're a farm. We just announced our production robotic farm. And so one of the things we're doing now is starting to invite chefs, local grocery stores by, and so they can actually try out some of our fresh produce. Because for them, it's not necessarily about the robots, it's about a consistent, better quality and local product. And so to your point, yeah, we absolutely want to set up our farms near cities all over. Because right now, the average travel distance for fresh produce is 2,000 miles. So the average person in the United States is getting about 1 week old lettuce or strawberries. And we want to fix that.
All right, so be honest with me here. How do your produce taste? Are things tasting as good as they taste coming from a traditional farm?
I believe absolutely. One of the things that we have is our produce was harvested that morning, but because we're using hydroponics, which also uses 90% less water, we're actually able to fine-tune like the nutrient recipe for every single varietal we're growing. So we're growing over 24 varietals of lettuce, kale, basil, but we can actually tune like the nitrogen level or the potassium level for each plant to thrive.
All right. Well, it is really fascinating stuff that you have going on there. Wish you all the best. That's Brandon Alexander, co-founder and CEO of Iron Ox, based in San Carlos. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.